welcome back to another video, and today we're reading The Puppy Plays Shadow. We're reading chapter 3 today. Make sure to like all my videos, subscribe to my channel, that really helps my channel. Also remember to comment if you feel the need to, and if you're interested in fishing and adventure, maybe you should check out my friend's channel. Their channel is called Skimmers Fishing and Adventure, and they do fishing and survival and fishing and adventure videos. So if you're interested in that, maybe check that out. Chapter 3. "This is Shadow," said Dr. Gibson. She didn't seem to notice that Lizzie didn't say hello or invite her in. "I know I shouldn't have brought him over without asking first, but I just couldn't stand to leave him home alone." By then the rest of the family had crowded in behind Lizzie. "Wow," said Charles. "He's so cute. How old is he?" "He's only a little pup." "Aw," said Dad. "What a great little pup." "Uppy, Uppy, Uppy," yelled the Bean, reaching up to try and pat the puppy. Even Mum, the cat lover, was impressed. "Would you look at him? Isn't he something?" she asked. Then she seemed to remember her manners. "Come in, why don't you, Dr. Gibson?" "Call me Katie, please," said the doctor as she came inside. She smiled at Lizzie. "You look as if you're itching to hold this puppy. Want to hold him while I get my coat off?" Lizzie held out her arms and the vet handed the puppy to her. His soft, warm weight made Lizzie sigh happily. And when he put one paw on either side of her neck in a sort of puppy hug, she felt as her heart would burst. "Hello, Shadow," she whispered into one of his silky ears. "Good boy." The puppy nuzzled her cheek with his nose and then licked his face all over, which made her giggle. Then the puppy struggled to get down, and Lizzie carefully lowered him to the floor. He ran straight for the Bean, who was laughing and clapping his hands. "Grab him," said Mrs. Peterson. Lizzie wasn't sure whether her mum meant Shadow or the Bean, but there wasn't time anyway. "It's okay, Dr. Gibson," said Dr. Gibson. "Shadow is terrific with little kids. He played with my 1-year-old nephew all day today. He's just a puppy, but he acts like a grown-up dog." They all watched as the Bean threw his arms around Shadow. "Uppy!" the Bean cried. Shadow's frown disappeared. His little tail wagged so fast that it was nothing but a black blur. The pudgy puppy licked the Bean's cheeks, nose and ears. This little person was so much fun. It was just like being back with his brothers and sisters, who liked to tumble all over one another and wrestle and play. Right away, Shadow knew he'd do anything for this little person. Anything. "Shadow's a pretty special pup," Dr. Gibson told them when they were sitting down to eat the chocolate cake Mum brought home. By then, Lizzie had scooped up Shadow again, and he was sitting in her lap while she ate. The Bean stood next to Lizzie's chair, stroking Shadow's ears. "He's a purebred Labrador Retriever, with papers and everything," the vet explained. "Papers? Like to pee on?" Charles sounded confused. "No," Lizzie smiled. "That's for housebreaking. The kind of papers she's talking about are proof that he's a purebred dog. They tell who his mother and father are and where he comes from." "That's right, Lizzie," said the vet, sounding impressed. "Anyway, this special pup needs a home. A family in town brought him from a breeder, but almost right away they found out that their son is allergic to dogs. So they asked me to find him a good home, and I thought of you." She smiled at Charles and Lizzie. "You did such a good job taking care of Snowball and finding him a home. Mrs. Peabody brought him in the other day for a checkup, and he looked so healthy and happy. Remember how sick he was when he first saw him?" Lizzie nodded, but she wasn't thinking about Snowball. She was thinking about Shadow, the adorable little puppy who was now nestled in her arms, fast asleep. "Can we, Mum?" she asked. "Can we keep Shadow?" "Keep?" Mum asked, "or foster?" Lizzie already knew she would love to keep Shadow forever, but Mum probably wouldn't say yes to that. "Foster," she said, "just until we find him a great home." "Yeah, foster," Charles agreed quickly. Lizzie knew Charles was like her. He would do anything to keep the puppy, even if only for a little while. "Charles, it's hard to say no for a little to this little guy," Mum nodded thoughtfully. What do you say, Paul? I'm all for it if you are, Dad said. One thing I should say is, said Dr. Gibson, that it would be best if you can find Shadow a home, permanent home quickly. He's only 9 weeks old, and this is an important time for him to learn how to be part of a family. We don't want him to get too attached to you, and then have to start all over again. Mrs. Peterson was nodding. Lizzie and Charles just looked at each other, and Lizzie knew they were thinking the very same thing. Maybe they could be Shadow's permanent home. But then Mum spoke up. That makes sense, she said, and the timing works for us too. We have a family vacation planned in a couple of weeks. We're visiting relatives in South Carolina over spring break. Lizzie knew her mother was right. She was really looking forward to seeing her cousins. They had 2 really cool dogs called Pogo and Winnie to play with. Lizzie and Charles and the Bean had always the best time in South Carolina, and it was true that it wouldn't be fair to leave a puppy as young as Shadow in a kennel for as long as 2 weeks. But Lizzie also knew it was true that giving up Shadow would be one of the hardest things she'd have to do. She was already in love with the little black puppy with the serious face. Shadow felt warm and safe on the girl's lap. He knew she would take good care of him, and he would take good care of her too. He squirmed into a more comfortable position, sighed happily, and then went back to sleep. That's the end of chapter 3, everybody. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully you can join me in my next video. And also, just a reminder, if you're interested in fishing and adventure and survival sort of stuff, check out my friend's channel at Skimmers Fishing and Adventure. And also, remember to like and subscribe all my videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!